On September 9th of 2013, I originally wrote this on my blog. It was titled, George Zimmerman Arrested. Thug Fights Father-in-Law and Threatens Wife/Family with Shooting. Gangster, thug, and hooligan, George Zimmerman has been arrested once again. He didn't touch his 6-year-old cousin's private parts this time. He didn't assault a police officer this time either. He didn't beat up a woman. He didn't shoot another minor. Nope. No unarmed dead teenagers? Nah. No speeding tickets either. George punched his father-in-law in the face, leaving him scarred or marked, according to witness Shellie Zimmerman, his own wife. She said in her 911 call that she was bricks and that she was so scared that she had to call the police to detain this evil man, because they're not going to say that they just flat out arrested him. They detained him. I'm more disgusted than Sir Mix Alot watching Miley Cyrus twerk. So the violent, child-killing, 6-year-old fingering gangster started throwing his fat around in a domestic violence situation from hell. Why? Because that's what George does. He's always in trouble. He's Curious George. They say that curiosity killed the cat, and George is not a pussy. He's the devil. His soon-to-be ex-wife Shellie Zimmerman is going to divorce him, and for good reason. This time the Neanderthal that almost blew his wife and father-in-law's faces off. Bang! According to Shellie, George punched her daddy in the nose and knocked his glasses off, snatched her iPad out of her hands that she was recording him with, slammed it on the ground, and then cut the screen with a pocket knife. But it gets worse. While on the phone with 911 dispatchers, she is heard screaming for her father to hide because she was afraid that George was going to go Rambo and start shooting everything moving. Shellie went on to tell the dispatcher that it looked like her dad's nose was maybe broken, and her father reportedly said that he felt like he was going to have a heart attack. No word of whether or not they were wearing hooded sweatshirts. So people need to realize that George may have been stopping his father-in-law from committing a burglary. His wife may have had tea and Skittles for all we know, and he may have been having flashbacks. So cut George some slack, guys. And it looks like Shellie is not going to press charges. Therefore, George's fans are defending his actions by victim blaming her. They're painting her as just merely being a scorned woman who was just upset at her soon-to-be ex-husband, as opposed to somebody who's a victim of a very violent and dangerous person. They're also ignoring the fact that he's going around beating up old men. And remember, these are people in his family. This is his wife and his wife's father. So imagine what he would do to a stranger if he thought he could get away with it. I mean, the guy just fights with police officers and, uses 6-year-olds' vaginas as a pair of gloves. I mean, it's not like, the guy wouldn't do anything wrong now, would he? Something tells me that George Zimmerman fans have major issues with women and just people in general. And it's like, if you don't like life that much, then maybe George and his fans can just all get together, make themselves the George Zimmerman cult, do the world a favor, and aim in the opposite direction towards yourselves the next time. But anyway, I doubt for some reason that this guy's story will end happily. So was George just standing his ground against his wife and father-in-law? If they were dressed in hoodies, does that change anything? Do you think that his family was looking suspicious by drinking tea and eating Skittles when he went completely crazy and started beating people up and threatening to kill people? Let me know what you think.